Tom, you have to, yeah, that's it, fine.
There we go.
Okay, now I just conclude a little bit of what we have heard, and thank you so much, Tom, for your expertise, and I learned so much as well. And we're all learning, And I like the way that you talk about the mantis shrimp. Remember that?
Yeah.
Mantis shrimp.
Amazing little guy.
That was about 30 years ago when I was still teaching in my temple school. At that time, I haven't changed my career. I haven't gone into the medicine yet. And this shrimp is so powerful. This strike, right, underwater with that kind of pressure, right, is snap a mirror. Underwater is equal to a bullet fire, and that's like you know, Tom, you're saying that's the shockwave, isn't it? It's the shockwave.
Yeah.
That's why. Now, I'm only specializing in methodology myself, and there's one another common point that I like to make is, probably I've told you before, but I'll share with you, you know, and the rest of it. A few years ago when I was teaching in the Hong Kong University, and one of the other professor, you know, of the is a surgeon, a very well-known surgeon, right? Yeah. And obviously a lot of people, you know, don't believe it, what I'm doing, you know, and the amount of look, you know, it's like, oh yeah, Nei Dan Dao, internal Taoist medicine. Oh, okay. Well, you can see and feel, you know, the resentment, right, from these medical professions, which I'm used to it now. So anyway, so obviously, and I'll try to explain to him, I said, look, you know, medicine study is a very big field. We all specialize in one way or the other. So I'll give him a very, very good example. Now, and I said to him, I said, we go together to a safari, to a holiday. Yeah, and I'll pay for it. Okay, yeah. And obviously we just talking about it. And he said, why? I said, yeah. You know, we all heard of the, what's the name? Doctors with no bother, yeah, in Africa and thing. Actually, my youngest son, you know, he went out there for you know, once to try to, you know, learn something. You know, he's also a general practice. And as I said to him, the professor in Hong Kong U, I said, look, we go to the most poorest village, right, we can find, and maybe you can help people with your expertise. And he looked at me like, okay, why? I think he got a bit, you know, lost because there's no hospital. There's no, so those expensive, really nice equipments, right? And how's he going to practice his surgery? So obviously he got stuck there. There's no medicine. There's no supply, nothing. And I said to him, maybe, you know, let you sit aside, let me do my job. And it's exactly like Tom, you were saying, the shock therapy. I just go, I zap people, right? Now, that's what Taoist internal medicine do. Okay, yeah. So that's why I call it, this is the people's medicines. Why? Of course, you know, a lot of the time that now with all the beautiful machine, Tom, you're working, just like the one that you were talking about. Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it? It's non-invasive as well, you know, but obviously it costs money. Every therapy will cost money. But this, the internal Nei Dan, yes, when we learn it, it's free because it's our natural body medicine inside our body, you know. So to me, you know, we have a lot of things in common, and I'm very happy to, if we can, the whole entire team here, all the medical profession, we can all try to put in our expertise, our experience, and we actually convince, obviously, the people, because, you know, not even Chinese don't believe what I'm doing, you know, let alone Westerners or Western medical professions. So that's why I am still trying to learn more and try to put two and two together. And with Tom, thank you for your help. Yeah, I can draw a lot of parallels. And we talk about the genetic there. We have Dr. Buttle here, and she's really specialized in genetics. So maybe next time we can invite her. talk about it. If any of the medical profession you would like to share your expertise, which have energy work, are we talking about energy work? We all talk about energy work, cosmic energy, human energy, isn't it? So I think it's a very, very interesting. So Tom, would you like to conclude anything now? Before you were being fried by other professionals?
Oh, just in conclusion, we're flying the flag for non-invasive, and we just need to simplify healthcare, because we already got the got the hardware on board. Just give our bodies a bit of a chance to get busy, and we've just got out of touch with our incredible bodies, and we've got that's what we're going to get. When you look in healthcare, there's just so much unhealthiness, including in the staff as well. I'm probably no exception. I haven't been eating that well for the last couple of years. I'm just you just work like a dog, and then you run out of time. But that's where the problem is. It needs, to some extent, some simplification, so that we can get a bit more, do something a bit differently, and like you're always saying, doing it better.
Good. Now, I'm sure all our teachers out there, or the medical professionals, you must have some really interesting question for you, Tom. So I hand over to our audience. Please do feel free to ask Tom the questions which you may have come across. Controller, if people raise question, can you put the camera on too?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. Anyone, please?
Yes, I have a question.
Oh no, here we go.
Oh no, here comes Nancy. Well,
Okay.
You have been training for quite some while with the professor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have experience yourself with some energy emission?
We trained a long time ago, and then I've been trying to get back into my training a bit. I do remember feeling the energy really nicely, and as I said to Professor, I once had this whiplash injury, and he put some, he did something with me, and I had some burns on my neck, and I was quite pleased with those, because I thought, oh, look at what's happened. I've got some nice burns here. This is proper,
Oh, he was the one that sued you. No, just kidding.
Yeah, he must want to sue me. So there was a couple of people, because the other topic I would bring a point is now, okay, is electromagnetic field. The other is the heat, is the low frequency infrareds. And that's why I burned Tom's neck.
Yeah.
So something else, Tom, maybe, you later on, you dig up some on that topic.
You just got me thinking, though. You see, what I'm doing with ultrasound, the machines are amazing and the people using them, but it's still just developing more. It's going to go a very long way. But I think that stuff with energy work, there's, we can learn a lot. I can learn a lot in ultrasound from energy work in my imaging as well. That's the thing. That's what's really important. See what I mean? We really need this. This is the thing. We need this stuff, and we're barely. We're still in that time where we might be trying to convince people. I don't need any convincing. I know it's good. I know. I mean, I got a lot of training I need to get into again, so I feel it a bit better. Any bubbling up of energy for me at the moment, it's probably still down in my ankles. So I've got some work to do, but I know I've felt it before. But I know that I can. You put some energy on a patient, and we're doing imaging. I got a feeling things are going to look a bit different with the imaging, and there could be some enhancement you know, and I don't know what that is yet. So
That's vital
see,
data.
it's two-way. This isn't just me helping. You've always helped people, and now this energy work can work in imaging, but I think it would be good in something like ultrasound, because an ultrasound machine is a relatively cheap machine. The person that operates it is not cheap. That's expensive and very expensive to train. But see what I mean? We're looking for a two-way street here into healthcare around the world, and I think this is what it is. This is it.
It's people's medicine.
Yeah.
We have a nice question from Michael Suvasa, Research East. What is the comparison between shockwave and PEMF? I think it's personal electromagnetic field or person. I don't know.
What is
it? Is pulsing electromagnetic field.
Pulsing electromagnetic field. So see, I use them. I do the treatment, and I wouldn't necessarily say I have the best answer on that, because I'm not like a physicist or anything, you know. I'm you know, what is the comparison? I would even open it out to the professor. I'd say, you know, electromagnetic field. I've described what I think a shockwave is, and how it works. If it's almost like, I think the question is almost about what does the shockwave do, and what does the shockwave do? We saw what it does, but what does the electromagnetic field do, or how is it affected, perhaps?
So the pulse, the way you described, it looks like they do similar things. It does increase the blood flow in the area. It does reduce pain almost instantly. So there is a huge level of energy going on in the area. And I had a short session of 10 minutes, and it was literally shocking my body. So it was very powerful. That's why I'm just wondering if they operate in a similar basis. And but yeah, you answered that, you know, the shock waves, but you're not familiar.
But you made me think. Maybe I'd like to read a bit more, because we tend to do these jobs and just go on autopilot and just do it, whereas it's good to have a nice academic answer as well. So maybe that I can go and look up a better answer. So I'll scribble that one down. You know, it's a really good question.
Also, if you are based in London, I didn't understand right. We can come together at some point. I do a few different energy work with different equipment you might be interested in.
That sounds, fantastic. Let's make that happen.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, we can get more people discussions, and we can get together. Any more questions?
I would like to ask Professor a question. Nancy again.
No.
What kind of
Point the gun at me? Point at Tom easily.
I know, but
It's your turn.
he shared his part, and I'd like to know your point of view with the shock therapy, because I'm just ignorant in this part, because it's an emission of energy, and the shock wave is breaking up something. And I was thinking, like, very intuitively, if you would apply that that shockwave therapy, like the way you do the zapping, what effect would that be? Would it break something, or would it trigger the self-healing mechanism?
Well, good question. But then again, I always say that if we just fall back using the word energy, we all shockwave, or you can look at me as I'm a human shockwave machine. I'm sure Tom will agree with it, isn't it? So it's the energy to produce. So even like what Suvasa was saying is, you know, these are obviously frequency of the energy. I know you can use a laser, it's a light, the heat, obviously the infrared, and they are all stimulations. So in the night down is cosmic, macrocosmic energy outside is one collective term, which is called macrocosmic energy, isn't it? Okay, yeah. So you can call it shock wave, you can say sound wave, you can light, just so many different ways of approaching the energy. But outside is the stimulations, right? Yeah, we call it white chi, right? And then inside is internal nature. So again, is the yin and yang principle, is you can use anything outside available. The whole thing is to try to trigger, right, to open up ourselves, because at the end of the day, right now, like Tom was talking about it, like, and all this energy, right, you can shockwave and do the thing. But then again, what about the biochemical reaction? The biochemical, which is the Neidan, is, because we do the biochemical, you do need medicines inside as well. So these are mechanical, isn't it? True. So they're also, what about the brain? What about psychological problem? True. So psychological problem from the Chinese side, the Taoist side, is all from the guts. So these are biochemical with the Neidan, with the hormones. So this another way of there are, like I said, there are three ways of energy. The Neidan looking at the body. One is musculoskeletal energy. The other one is neurological energy. The third one is biochemical energy. So this is the field at which I specialize in. But the rest of the, like Tom was giving me a lot of ideas, because we can draw parallels. Yeah.
I was going to say, you might have a very big stone that blocks the pipe from the kidney to the bladder. That maybe that is a bit tricky. With I mean, I'm not sure how you might have gone about that, but maybe there's a instead of all of the invasive medicine, you could have, say, Neidan, and you could have me doing the shocking to make it dust, and then you repair or make the ureter healthier again.
No, I have a successful case of kidney stone and even cancer. So, but I don't see what's happening inside. Okay, so that is the problem. Now, with all the beautiful machine, we can actually see it. But 28 years of practices, all different type of, really even the terminal illnesses, I have successful case study. I still got a lot of patient around to testify for me, but I can't explain people what's happening inside. So to me, the energy that I emit into people obviously stimulate the person's self-healing. Either, like you say, my energy may be part of, obviously, electromagnetic field is part of breakdown the kidney stone. If you're talking about kidney stone, I'm going to turn it to dust as well and then pass it out. Or maybe I trigger, the energy will trigger out the endocrine system to release all the hormones, the Neidan, the internal Taoist medicines, right, to dissolve it. And the one thing is like bruisings, right? All these bruising, massive bruising when we're doing the martial art. So we just put the hand over it. You can actually see the bruising just disappearing. So obviously these are biochemical, or is it even infrared, because it's heat. So I don't know, because I'm not a machine can actually chart it. That's why
you might look at a liver that's really unhealthy, a fatty liver or a cirrhosis liver. You might make it better, improve it with the energy, and I could scan it every few days and see its texture changing.
That's it. We can put in the data, like you can see when I put my hands over the patient before, then all the muscular spasm. The spasm, isn't it a vibration? Isn't it a shock? It's a shock wave, isn't it? Yeah. So like when I put to people, if they have problem with the lower part, which is excretory systems, and they're always having spasm on the legs. So you can say the shock wave, which is maybe it could be, it's just different term we use, isn't a spasm of the muscle. There's actually the frequency of the vibration actually shattered all the thing and blockage, because that's why we call it in the Neidan called blockages. So we remove the blockages, and then the body, is part of the body self-healing.
So what I'm hearing, correct me if I'm wrong, is that would it be possible that if someone is laying down on your table, Tom, and professor or either Taoist physician is zapping that person at that moment, that you can image what's happening in the body?
Yeah.
Is that feasible?
Oh yeah.
Wow, that would be
Definitely.
awesome.
That's why Tom can imaging it, because a beautiful machine and it's millions, you know, of really expensive equipment there. Beautiful.
Yeah. And
Well, these
also
are the sort of studies we
I
can
can't
easily
see
do.
it, but I can feel it.
yeah, and also when you do Xing Qi Shu or the breathing technique, what do you think you can also image that what happens in the body? Because Xing Qi Shu is the breathing that will happen, something
Yeah.
happens inside the body as
It's
well.
not so good for imaging in the lungs, but then I think you mean just you look in say the abdomen and just see if you see differences when the breathing's happening. By the way, I'm going to have to go soon.
Oh, yeah.
This is not me
Sorry.
running away from questions, but I have to pack because I've got to get a very early flight to
Okay.
Florida. This will
Yeah.
be the first time I got on a plane for 3.5 years.
Yeah.
So I hope you will not be offended.
Well,
Otherwise, I'm going
thank you,
to
Tom,
get
and I'm
lynched
sure we all,
by the partner.
you know, we are very, very happy to have you here. Okay, yeah, have a nice flight.
Yeah,
And I'll carry on with the rest of the people. Thank you very much, Tom.
awesome.
Thank you, Tom.
I really
Have a
enjoyed it.
great flight.
I always enjoy this.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
See you again.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Right, see you guys. Yeah, I'll see you soon.
Cheers.
Bye.